Thank you for joining our podcast series where we talk about the latest developments of the aviation market, giving a focus to the future of mobility in our industry. Today, we have the pleasure of being accompanied by Jaime Escobar, Director of Fuel, Airport Charges, and Environment at ALTA, Latin American and the Caribbean's Air Transport Association. How are you, Jaime? Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for having me today. Today, I'm happy to be in Cartagena, Colombia.
Thank you, Jaime. Well, let's get right into it. Jaime, you and ALTA have been very active and focused in the future of air mobility for Latin America. Can you tell us a little bit about the efforts that ALTA is leading in the region and the developments of sustainable aviation fuel in our market?
Yes, we are including in our fuel committee meetings all issues related with SAF and the environment to contribute to the decarbonization of the industry as mandated by our own executive committee. Nowadays, LATAM is the president of the committee, and he's very interested that we as airlines all over the region are creating environmental friendly atmosphere in the industry.
Thank you, Jaime. Now, there have been a number of projects that have been proposed around the world for the development of a SAF, a production of SAF particularly, and some in Latin America. Can you tell us a bit more? Can you give us a bit of update about the status of these projects in Latin America? Are there new plans and what legislation efforts have been done in the region?
Well, we are very, very happy to hear only maybe yesterday or the day before, the President of the Republic of Panama announced the construction of the large production and distribution center of biofuels in the city of Colón in Panama. It's owned by a private company, SGP Bioenergy, and will produce 180,000 barrels a day in this new biorefinery that will start operating 2024. That's the second large endeavor and investment in the country, in the Latin American region, since we already have one being built in Paraguay, but it's owned by Brazilian investors. It's BS Bios. They will be starting producing in 2023, and those are the two largest production plants in the region, and we hope to see many more sprouting out in different countries in Latin America and the Caribbean for that matter.
Yes, these are two very exciting projects. One in Panama, which is, a center for logistics and transportation hub for our region, particularly with the Panama Canal being in the center of the country. And then Brazil is the largest aviation market for Latin America. And let's dive a bit deeper into Brazil and this market particularly. You mentioned the plant, but have there been any other advancements in legislation to incentivize SAF?
Yes, in Brazil, we are very preoccupied to see that they have actually mandated already that in 2027, airlines, we don't know if it's only for domestic operations or for international operations, they will have to include a certain percentage of blend of SAF in their domestic or international flights. However, the main problem at the moment is that there is not enough production to comply with this mandate. And also, by the time we start operating with SAF, the prices will still be very high because there's not any incentive in the country to invest in import or production in their own country. And we see that this is going to be a big problem to comply with the mandate that they have already signed as a law.
Wow, seems complicated. Seems complicated for the future of Brazil right now.
Yes.
Let's move a little bit north to, I guess, the second largest aviation market for Latin America, Mexico. And Mexico is a bit particular because it has a border with the United States, and California, as of right now, is the largest producer of biofuels and SAF for that matter. What can you tell us about the advancements that have been happening in Mexico, and will we have SAF available there soon?
Yes, unfortunately, Mexico does not have a legal framework already in place so that they can actually import or bring into the country the SAF that is being produced across the border. So the first thing that they have to do is come up to date and set up a legal framework for the import of SAF in that region. It is a fact that most of the SAF in the United States, and especially in California, is available in the largest airports like in Los Angeles and San Diego and these places. And of course, the Mexican airlines have already signed contracts with the main supplier there. We know for a fact that the supplier is also one of our members. They have been speaking very closely with the Mexican government, trying to get some incentives to come into the country or even be able to send when they have available surplus production to be exported to Mexico. But in the meantime, we still don't have any developments in the largest Latin American market after Brazil, as you mentioned.
Thank you, Jaime. Well, things seem to be at least walking in the right direction for Mexico.
But we need full speed ahead.
Yes, because the energy transition is coming fast. Now, we've spoken about Panama, we've spoken about Mexico and Brazil. Are there any other countries in the region that have made any advancements in this sector? Two that really come to mind are the Dominican Republic and Costa Rica. Can you give us a bit more background on those two?
Yes, absolutely. In the Dominican Republic, they already have in place a very ambitious plan. They have a legal framework. They have everything set up. However, we haven't seen any private investors actually interested in coming to the country. So we're trying to find why that's the case. When everything is set up, we still don't see anybody interested in coming to the Dominican Republic. So we're trying to find any investors. We're trying to talk to some investment banks to see if they can find clients to come to the Dominican Republic, but they have everything in place. So we hope that very soon we'll have production in the Dominican Republic. Now, in Costa Rica, the new government just stepped in about 2 weeks ago. So we're still seeing who is being nominated in different key positions. And we have already identified two very people that really know what they're going to do. So we have two ministers that we know already. So we are trying to set meetings with them on the week of the 20th of June so that we can talk to them and send the message of how Costa Rica should move forward to include SAF as part of their country policy. Costa Rica is known for everybody as the eco-friendly tourism country. So the whole policy, the country policy, has to include also SAF, since aviation is the main way in which all the tourism comes to Costa Rica. So it's going to be very easy to have all the stakeholders together so that they set up the legal framework and incentives for the import and production of SAF in Costa Rica very soon.
Great. Seems like Costa Rica has a lot of projects coming ahead, a bright future. And it seems like the government's ready to hit the ground running. So that's some good news from there.
Yes, absolutely.
And well, finally, Jaime, just to wrap things up, we've highlighted some of the countries that are, in the forefront of this energy transition, particularly for the aviation market. But the majority of countries in Latin America are still not there yet. And in your opinion, what is or are the first things that a country should do in order to offer SAF at their airports?
The main thing at this moment is that governments understand that they need a legal framework that's clear and effective so that it would be easier to import SAF before there is local production. And also there has to be some incentives, especially tax incentives for investors coming into the country trying to set up shop in production and commercialization of SAF. Without those two ingredients, we won't see any further investments in the country. But incentives and taxes is one of the main issues that we have to be solved in every country.
Great. Thank you so much, Jaime. Thank you so much, Jaime, for your time and for your expertise. It's very enlightening. Argus is a leader of biofuels and carbon markets, and we publish prices for sustainable aviation fuel around the world with markers in Europe, the US, and Singapore. For more information about our market coverage, prices, and indices, please don't hesitate to contact a member of our team. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.